We don't stay because of love. We stay because of the wound that feels like home. It's not the pain that binds us. It's the memory of something unfinished. Jung said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." Every pattern we repeat is a message from the unconscious. It doesn't speak in words, it speaks in experiences. And when we ignore the message, it returns again. In another face, another story, another heartbreak. We are drawn to what is familiar, not necessarily to what is good for us. The psyche seeks completion. The child within seeks resolution. That is why people often endure abuse, not because they enjoy the pain, but because they hope that through endurance, the past will finally heal. Jung called this the complex, a cluster of emotions, memories and beliefs buried deep within us. When someone touches that wound, the complex awakens. You feel it in your stomach, in your chest, in your voice that suddenly trembles. You are no longer your present self. You have become the child who first learned what love costs. So when you meet someone who criticizes you, belittles you, or withholds affection, something ancient inside you whispers, "This feels familiar. Maybe this time, if I'm good enough, they'll stay." That whisper doesn't come from weakness. It comes from the unconscious, still trying to rewrite an old story. This is what Jung called repetition compulsion, the inner drive to recreate the conditions of the original wound in hope of a different ending. But the ending never changes until consciousness enters the story. Abuse persists because we mistake recognition for safety. We confuse the familiar with love. The nervous system believes chaos is normal, and peace feels foreign. Jung often said that suffering is not meaningless. It's a call to transformation. He wrote, "There is no coming to consciousness without pain. Abuse forces the psyche to face what it has denied, the shadow, the unacknowledged truth of ourselves. The shadow is not evil. It is everything we repress. Our anger, our fear, our need for love, our longing for respect. When we cannot own those qualities, we project them outward. We attract people who act them out for us. The controlling partner, the cold friend, the cruel parent. They embody what we refuse to face inside. Jung called this projection, the psyche's mirror. To withdraw a projection is painful work. It means admitting that the qualities we hate in another live somewhere within us, that the abuser's arrogance may reflect our buried anger, that their control mirrors our fear of power. This doesn't excuse the abuse. It simply reveals why we stayed. We stayed because part of us was trying to meet ourselves through them. Jung believed that every relationship, even the destructive one, serves individuation, the process of becoming whole. Wholeness demands we meet every fragment, the victim, the protector, the wounded child, and the silent witness. When we integrate them, endurance transforms into awareness. Many victims of abuse wear a heavy persona, the mask that says, "I'm fine." Jung said the persona protects us from the world, but also keeps us from our truth. Behind the mask lives the authentic self, trembling but ready to speak. The work of healing is removing that mask, gently, honestly, until your outer life matches your inner reality. In every story of endurance, there comes a turning point. It's the quiet moment when the abused soul whispers, "No more." That moment is sacred. It's not anger, it's awakening. It's the birth of the self, the higher center Jung described as the guiding core of personality. The self seeks balance between light and shadow, between giving and receiving, between love and self-respect. When you honor that inner self, you stop enduring what diminishes you. You begin to practice what Jung called active imagination, the dialogue between your conscious mind and your inner world. You start asking, what is this experience trying to teach me? What part of me needs to wake up? And little by little, awareness grows where confusion once lived. The voice that once said, I deserve this becomes, I deserve peace. The silence that once hid your pain becomes the silence that protects your energy. Remember this. You did not stay because you were broken. You stayed because you were brave enough to face your unconscious pain. But bravery without awareness turns into bondage. Awareness with compassion turns it into freedom. When you finally leave, you are not running away. You are returning home. Home to yourself. To the part of you that no longer needs to suffer to feel worthy. And from that moment on, life begins to change. You start seeing red flags not as invitations, but as reminders of how far you've come. You choose peace not because it's easy, but because it's real. You forgive not to erase the past, but to release its hold. Jung said, "The most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely." That acceptance is the end of endurance. It is the beginning of healing. So if you are listening to this and still asking, "Why did I stay?" know that the answer is written in compassion, not shame. You stayed until you could see, and now that you see, you don't have to stay anymore. The pattern ends with awareness. The story continues with you, not as the wounded one, but as the conscious one. The one who turned pain into wisdom. The one who finally understood that what was once endured was never love. It was the lesson that led you back to it. Let this reflection sit with you. Breathe. Let the silence speak what words cannot. And remember, your awakening is not loud. It's quiet, steady, and full of light. Before we end, take a moment and breathe. If this message resonated with you, if you've ever stayed in pain hoping it would turn into love, I want to hear your reflection. Comment below and write, "I choose awareness over endurance," because naming it is the first step toward healing it. And if this reflection spoke to your heart, I invite you to share it with someone who may still be trapped in silence. Someone who needs to remember that endurance is not love, and pain is not purpose. You can also watch my previous video, The Psychology of Silence, to understand why quiet moments are often the beginning of transformation. It connects beautifully with what we explored today. You'll find the link in the description and pinned comment below. And if you're new here, welcome. This space, Inner Light with Faith, is where we explore healing, self-awareness, and the wisdom of Carl Jung, one truth at a time. So if you'd like to walk this journey with me, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss these weekly reflections. Thank you for spending this quiet moment here with me. May your awareness become your peace, and may your peace become your power. Until next time, stay gentle with yourself. And remember, you are awakening.